Well, what's up, guys? I just wanted to make a video today showing what we're starting with and, maybe track our progress over time with what we do at this place. So me and my fiance just bought an acre and a half in northern Alabama. I'm from Tennessee and she's from Alabama, so we're just south of the Tennessee line. So this is a really good middle point between our families, and we got this place for an amazing deal. Like I said, it's an acre and a half. It has an awesome shop building on it, and there's a 100-year-old house that's been added on to God knows how many times. There's an epic well on here. I just got the power turned on. That took a lot of work. So I just kind of wanted to show the place, kind of show where we're at, where we're starting, and, just see where we go from here. So I'm down here at the bottom of the hill on the edge of our property. There's this really cool, like, uh, swing kind of thing. One of our neighbors wants it to use as a pattern so he can build more of them. I don't know when he's going to get around to getting it, but he's welcome to it. I'd like for him to build me one too, a new one. But that's pretty cool. This is our first entrance right here. This property has 3 entrances, believe it or not. This is at the bottom of the hill. We are like in a pretty steep holler down here. I've never used a selfie stick before, so this is kind of awkward for me. And also, I haven't shaved in, I don't know, 2-3 months now, which isn't really out of the ordinary for me. It's just getting a little scraggly here. But we've been so busy, and power. We've been on a generator for about a month at least now, so having power, maybe I'll be able to clean up a little bit better now. Down here we got a burn pile. This is furniture and rotten wood that I've pulled out of the house and just around the property. We're going to get that set on fire here before too long. I'm going to make my way up to the shop. It's about halfway up the property. This whole property is, one big hill, basically. And right here is the old power pole that I had to take out and replace. The insides of the breaker panel are just trashed. And the pole isn't tall enough to meet the current code. This is a 16-foot pole. I had to replace it with a 20-foot pole. I had to put in a new meter base, a new breaker panel, run my entry wire. We'll get to that in a minute. Over here I got my truck, a little workhorse. It's a 2004 F-150, nothing special. It's an extended cab long bed truck, 2-wheel drive. Really wishing it was 4-wheel drive right about now, because I have gotten it stuck playing around on the property like the first day I was here. And I just got some scrap metal I've been collecting from around here. So right over here is a shop. I love this shop. This shop is so cool. If I were to have this shop built today, concrete and all, would cost more than what we paid for the entire property. And this thing is epic. It's just like a big metal Quonset hut kind of deal. If I had to guess, I'd say it was like 25 feet wide, about like 30 or 40 long. I don't really know. We got the Project S10 over here. That is not going to see the light of day for a long time, I guarantee that. We paid $300 for that. Amber did. It's in good shape. It doesn't run. The fuel tank's out. The engine's halfway torn apart, it looks like. So we're going to try to find a small block or something to put in that one day. That'll be fun. Got the Polaris Sportsman 570. It's a fantastic four-wheeler. This thing has been an absolute mule for me. Like, I've used this thing every single day around here. And my fiance was skeptical. She was like, we don't need that. What are you going to do with it? And I have literally used it every single day. That thing is incredible. Got our generator back there that we were using. I don't know if you can see it, probably not. But we've been using that generator. It's a Generac 6,000 watt, I believe. We've been using that for about 2 to 3 weeks. We had a Predator generator. We had this little guy. That thing crapped out about 2 weeks in, and we had to replace it with something. And I didn't want to get another one. The problem with those is that they have the CO2 sensors, which is all well and good. But they made the same generator about 10 different ways. So I can't even find the sensor on that thing. And the wiring between them is different on like all of them. So I can't even figure out how to bypass it, which is possible. I just can't figure it out. So, you know, in a time crunch, I just had to replace it. It is what it is. Let's see here. Coming up the hill from the shop, you can see we've come uphill this entire way. We have our camper. That's a Coleman 17 BH Dutchman. It's a bunkhouse, 17-foot bunkhouse. We got the bunkhouse thinking that our dogs would sleep in the bunks, and that just is not the case. They still sleep with us, or they sleep on not a breakfast nook, what do you call it? The dinette. We fold the dinette down, and they usually sleep on that because they like to be close to us. And we've ended up just using the bunks as storage for, like, you know, laundry and stuff like that. It's a good little camper. It's a great little camper. That's about $15,000 brand new. We paid close to that used, and it came with a whole bunch of extra stuff that we needed to buy anyway. So it ended up being a pretty good deal. We got our Starlink dish set up for internet. Starlink out here is really about your only option. I believe Charter is starting to, or has, or is about to run lines out here. But I've had Charter before. It's always been a disappointment. I'm not super interested in hooking up to Charter. Like, you know, if they can provide me a service that's better than Starlink at a better price, then I would be all for it. The Starlink is kind of pricey. It came with our camper, which was very fortunate, but the monthly bill is about $150 for the mobile setup. I don't know what the residential setup is, but it's $150 for the RV setup. It's kind of pricey, yeah, but it really is about our only real option here. Our speeds are pretty good. You can see we're surrounded by tree cover, and this is probably the most optimal spot on the property for it. And we're getting about 60 down, 25 up, and a latency of like 20 to 25 milliseconds. So it's very good. It's not going to compare to fiber, like, obviously. And it's even slower than a lot of DSL or cable connections. But it's very good. It's very good. I can't stress enough, like, how awesome it is to have that when we really don't have any other options. Let's see here. We've got my power pole. It looks fine. I probably could have used some offsets on the conduit. That would have been a good idea. And I would never recommend using those plastic straps on the conduit, because I went through about 10 of them before I just said screw it and got some metal ones. Just use those. I'm not an electrician, but the county did sign off on my work. They approved it. I guess I did everything that I was supposed to correctly. I got a 2-in-1 meter base with a 4-slot breaker panel, and this has a breakout to where I can run a service wire from here, you know, to the house. If we keep it or tear it down, we're kind of on the fence about that. We're probably going to tear it down. So far, the only breaker I have, the only outlet I have, is for the RV. I will be expanding this into the shop. It's just a matter of time and money, you know. There's my 30 amp RV outlet on the bottom. Breaker panel, meter base is all in one. Surge protector from Southwire, got to have one of those. Yeah, and you can see this is a 20-foot pole, and originally the shop ran with just like standard Romex wire from the house, and the house had the main service wire to another pole, and that pole was about to fall over. Like, it would have certainly caused a fire if I just had it turned on as is. So we had to replace all of that. That was a really good time. Let's go in the backyard behind the house before I get to the house. The house is wild. Back down there behind the shop, that's where I got my truck stuck. And that's where I've been, you know, kind of cutting trails with the four-wheeler, just playing around. Let's see, there's some birds in here. Y'all want to see some birds? Some like little baby birds. I don't know if you can get in there and see them or not. But I got pictures of them. I'll put a picture in the video. There's some baby bluebirds in there. The mama bird is nearby and I haven't touched them or anything. So I'm going to just leave them be, and I'm probably going to relocate that birdhouse somewhere a little more out of the way. There's another birdhouse down here. I should go see if there's any birds in there. I always forget about this one because I don't come back here, you know, that much at the moment. I don't see anything in there right now. Let's see here. We've got these crazy little platforms. I think one of them used to be a greenhouse. I don't know what that one used to be. I don't know what that one used to be over there. And then that one there. One of them had a greenhouse, probably that one over there. We got this nice clothesline. You know, can't beat a clothesline. You know, anything I can do to save electricity, I'm gonna do. And see, there's this detached garage over here. We'll go look at that. There's a house, and then there's this little like two-car garage, quote unquote two-car garage. The backside of it's caving in. I'm probably gonna get on the four-wheeler later and yank that down. Maybe, we'll see. I might use the truck. I may not even do it today, who knows. I kind of like having somebody else here whenever I start demolishing things, you know, just, you know, for safety. Because I am accident prone. I tend to hurt myself a lot, whether I, you know, I tend to get hurt a lot. Almost cut my finger off last summer on some hedge trimmers. I got this broke down John Deere mower. I think it needs a starter, but it's been so hot and there hasn't been like any rain, so my grass hasn't really been growing, and between driving the truck and the four-wheeler over the ground, it's not growing up too fast. Might see if I can borrow a mower when it starts to get, you know, obnoxiously tall. But this is a 100-year-old house on this property. This house was built in 1920. It's had at least one or two additions added to it, and it's a crazy little place. It really doesn't make any sense how this place was built. I mean, maybe it makes sense to somebody, but it doesn't really make a lot of sense to me. I'm gonna spin the camera. We're gonna go inside of here. Watch my step. I done got crap everywhere. I don't remember what's in that small Amazon box. I ordered something. I don't remember what it is. The big box is our water filtration system, which I'm really looking forward to. I have a well pump. I have our water filters. I just need to get the hose and wiring to hook the well up. And I suppose this is what you call a living room. I think this was the only like original piece of this house. I'm pretty sure it was this small when it was built, but you know, I don't know. Got this neat little cabinet. This looks like wood. Nope, it's metal. Fireplace that was boarded up. It had a propane heater on top of it. We pulled that off just to see if there was money hidden in the walls, and there wasn't. There's a big hole in that wall. There's a pretty good sized closet there. In here, got this bed, you know, mattress, a bunch of stuff that just needs to be thrown away. It's just a matter of getting it out and getting it out of here. You know, not the easiest thing to do by yourself. Let's see, in here we got a bathroom, ceiling caved in. That's wonderful. This place is pretty gross. Nasty ass bathtub. There's the breaker panel for the house. That's probably got to go. That's definitely gonna go. Let's go through the kitchen, and I'll have to circle back through here because I'm gonna save the well for last because that is gnarly. There were some appliances in here. They weren't any good. They were nasty, just gross. So I took them to the scrap yard. Kitchen, not in the best shape. Lots of mouse poop everywhere. Really great. There was a washing machine here. We got rid of that because it was gross. There's a spider web on my leg. I imagine there's a dryer here because there's a vent for it. So there's that. This white wall right here, there's 2 layers of paneling. We've already came in here and started tearing out a little bit. But there's 2 layers of paneling on a lot of these walls. And I believe this right here, this like almost tongue and groove style wall is the original wall. And that's, you know, indicative of like 30s or 40s. But from what we can gather, this house was originally built in 1920. So I don't know. Got a saggy ceiling fan. There's a garage out the window. There's another door that I didn't even know was there because there's like couches and stuff piled over there. There's some of the paneling we pulled off. There was a great big window right here. I have the window. I think it's on one of those mattresses. But this was a nice solid window. So we carefully cut that out and saved it. And I drug all of the furniture out of here with the 4-wheeler, with the winch. And that was actually a lot of fun. This wood stove, this is an old Ashley wood stove. It's an Ashley Imperial. This is actually a very nice stove. It's got temperature control. It's a side-loading wood stove. It's mostly cast iron on the inside, and then just steel all around it. That's going to go to the shop, and I'm going to use that for heat during the winter. Down in the shop. Let's see. In the kitchen, this is wild. This really caught me off guard because when we first came here, there wasn't anybody to like show us around. So we came in and just kind of started poking around. The door was wide open. The grass was overgrown. So we just came in and started poking around. And I didn't see this until after we'd already bought the place. There's spider webs everywhere. I'm going to use the selfie stick to clear the webs. Alright. Oh God, they're everywhere. Anyway, I'm just going to have to man up and get through it. But this is a manhole cover that we were donated. And if I can lift it up. Jesus, it's heavy. Get these spider webs out of here. It's bothering me. We're going here. There's a carving on here. It says like 1975, 1950 something. I can't really read it. But I'm assuming the well is older than that, and this concrete was just placed on that after the fact. I'm getting spider webs all over me. But this manhole cover, we can shoot this over to the side. Maybe. It's very heavy. Let's see if I can turn the light on the camera. There it goes. So, check this out. Yeah, there's a big old spider in there. I hate holding my phone over this. You can't really see the water down in there, but we measured it with a string and a rock. That's heavy. We measured it with a string and a rock, and the well is about 100 foot deep overall, like 80, 90, maybe 100. It's been a while since we measured it, but it's at least 80 feet. And this Alabama summer ain't no joke. But the well's about, I would say, at least 80 foot deep, probably more. I don't remember exactly. But the water, I don't think you could see it, but the water is about 40 feet from the top. So there's a significant amount of water in there, and we've already tested it, and it's clean. It's very clean. There's nothing in it that we can't easily filter out, and I got a way overkill water filter system. It's got the UV sterilizer and all that, like multiple passes through charcoal, and I don't know a lot about water filtration, so I just got the one with the most filters. I'm sure it'll be fine. But I love this place. It's an acre and a half. It's not that big, but it's plenty of room for, you know, what we want to do. And I'm not sure what we're going to do with the house just yet. I'm thinking we're going to tear it down. It's got a lot of really old and badly thought out building practices in it. It's not safe. It's gross. The house sat abandoned for a couple of years after the previous owners passed away. And there was, let's say, some crackhead activity going on in there. And from what I understand, there may have even been some while they were still alive. I don't know. I didn't know the people. You know, I'm sure they were fine. I don't know. But, you know, it's definitely, I think it's past the point of being able to be remodeled. Like, it would take more effort than it was worth. It would take more time and money than I think it's worth to rebuild it. But it's a pretty neat property, like, either way. Like, this is the back side of the shop. It's just, I guess they brought in all this dirt to set a foundation for it. And this is where I got my truck stuck down here. You see those ruts that go off into the holler a little bit? That's where my truck was. That's where the rear end of my truck was. And all these ruts are from the four-wheeler and me just coming through here sideways wide open. It's a lot of fun. Let's see if I can turn this. That fence right there, if you can see it, is our property line. And that goes all the way down to the first entrance by the swing set. And it comes all the way down here. And it goes back a little bit further, like at an angle. And down there is just a big open holler. Well, it ain't open, but it's just a big holler. We have a neighbor on that side who I believe is just a retired fella. And I believe he owns most of that back there. And I believe there's another house off that way somewhere, but I don't know anything about them. And it just kind of comes up behind all this overgrowth back here, all this brush and stuff. And we can clean all this out, do something with it. I don't know what yet. There is a fire pit like right here. So I'm assuming that was. It looks like it to me. It could maybe be a cistern, but I don't think so. It looks like a fire pit. But I don't know why they would pour concrete that clean for a fire pit. I might have to look into that a little. Because it looks like it has been used as a fire pit, but it could be something else. And then property line comes back up to this big tree, down to that corner a little bit, and up here. These are wild muscadines, I believe. I think they're muscadines. I'm not the great person here. Fiance knows more about that. Amber knows a lot more about that than I do. And then over here, this fella next door, I say next door, I have no idea where his house is. He owns about 70, 75 acres, 80 acres, something crazy like that. And we have this amazing view looking over his property to the mountains back there. I love coming up here and just standing with, you know, a cup of coffee and just staring out into the horizon. It's beautiful, man. And he has cattle. He's probably got like, I don't know, 60 or 80 cows. And they'll come right up to this fence line and just hang out with us. Usually early in the morning. You gotta get up about 7, 8 o'clock to see them. They'll come up here and hang out with us for a little while and then head back down the hill. Lightning got that tree or something. Probably wind. I thought it was lightning, but I don't see any scorch marks, so I'm thinking that might have just been wind. Because that side of that tree looks kind of dead. But yeah, I love this place. It's got a lot of potential. There's our little bitty driveway. And gravel comes down there to about that little tree. What's left of it. Well, I love this place. It's a neat little house. It's a neat little property. But I think this house is going to get torn down. I think we're going to rebuild a little cabin here. You know, nothing huge, nothing fancy. Just maybe like one of those shed conversion cabin kind of deals. I don't know yet. We'll see when we get there. But yeah, I'm going to wrap it up here. I'm really excited to you know, keep working on this place and see where we go with it. And you know, I'll keep you updated.